Hello YouTube, welcome back to Case Technologies. This is our first video for the 2021 year, and I'm really excited to share some new information. We're going to be doing a lot more videos in the near future. We plan on getting monetized this year, right? That's where the money is, ain't no shame in that. But also we'll be adding in more gaming videos about different technologies in the gaming field, and also just more hardware review for computers as well. I have a few Mac videos coming up too, so stay tuned for that. But in today's video, we're going to focus primarily on the best certifications for 2021, the best bang for your buck, what route the IT field is going in, and how you can be successful in the field going forward. So let's get to it. All right, I already have my trusty Indeed up. I love Indeed. It's a great site. You've probably seen it already in some of my other videos where I showed you how to get 6 figures. So let's go ahead and look. The first certification I have on my list is the AWS Certified Solutions Architect, and that's the associate version. It's not even at the professional level. A lot of companies are looking for people who are actually certified in AWS and who can do the cloud work. All right, we have an honorable mention, which is Azure, which is Microsoft's version, but AWS is still top notch. I get the most phone calls for this. I don't hear a lot of people asking me for Azure. I don't have a lot of people calling me for GCP, which is the Google Cloud Platform, or any other cloud solution out there. So this is the one you want to have. Basically, it validates the abilities it validates is that you basically have basic knowledge of the AWS ecosystem, that you know about EC2, S3, CloudFormation, and when to implement them. When is the best use case for each. And the good thing I like about AWS is they don't kill you on the certification cost, right? It's $150 right here. It's multiple choice. You get 130 minutes to take it, so that's 2 hours and 10 minutes. And then it has different languages in which you can go ahead and use the exam or take the exam, and that's what you want to focus on. All right. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and put in my location, which is Washington D.C. area, and I'm just going to go ahead and type in AWS. And we can go down to Solutions Architect, because that's specifically what we want to focus on. And once we put this in, we can search and find out what the positions are there and what they're paying, right? What they're actually looking for. So I'm just going to go for 2 for each certification, just so we can get an overview of what the pay rate is and what are some of the other qualities they're looking for in candidates. So this one right here is for Skyward Federal. And we're going to do another one. See if I can find a different pay rate here. And this is a Senior Cloud Architect as well. So we have 2 positions here. First one is a Cloud Solutions Architect and Delivery Lead. They want you to have CI/CD, which is continuous integration and continuous development experience. So you want to use some type of pipeline like a Jenkins or something like that. Then you have AWS. And then they want you to be cleared. So in the DC area, we have a lot of government agencies that require government clearances. So that's what they're referring to there. And then you just have a lot of this jargon here. AWS C2S, Linux operating system, networking, DevOps. Then you have Jenkins, GitLab. So don't get discouraged by these descriptions sometimes. They do look like they're looking for 3 people. But a lot of times, if you can get 3 of these bullets, you're usually fine. You'll be capable of completing the day-to-day task of the position. So don't get alarmed by that at all. And then the range is 115 to 175. The position can be located in Boston, Mass, Colorado Springs, or Washington, D.C. So that's actually pretty good. It's kind of flexible. And then they have a great salary range right here from 115 to 175. And then you have all your benefits for this position. So this looks like a relatively good position. And you only work from Monday to Friday. So as you can see, being AWS certified and understanding the cloud is already going to lead you to a lucrative position. All right. You just have to be able to get through the interviews and really know what you're talking about. So let's go on to the next position that we just found. So this one, already they're talking about Azure 1 year preferred, possibly a bachelor's degree, but don't let that deter you either if you don't have one. I've seen people work in this field for many years without it. Now this has a low bar. So we have an urgent requirement for a senior cloud architect in Herndon, District of Columbia, for 1+ years contract. So please let me know if you are interested. And the candidate should possess the following. Now this is what gets me all the time. It's funny. They ask for Azure in the top, and then the very first bullet here, first item is 10 years experience in AWS, out of which at least 5 years should be working as a solution architect. Now, this is a crazy ask to ask someone for 10 years experience with AWS. If you really track and follow AWS in 2010, it was really just getting started, and most of the capabilities they have today were not available then. So that really doesn't have any value today. What somebody might have done 10 years ago, it means nothing, okay? The ecosystem is totally evolved, right, into something totally different, okay? And this is a lengthy description. They're talking about all types of stuff. They're just basically using every buzzword in the book. Architect solutions for the design and implementation of big and fast data infrastructure on AWS Cloud using Kafka, Kinesis, Glue, Athena, Redshift, DynamoDB, and QuickSight. I don't think any of these were available 10 years ago. Maybe DynamoDB, but that's pushing it. Okay? Now, the job types is part-time and contract. Right? So, and then they also want you to have machine learning. So this position is all over the place, and it could be a nightmare or hell for anyone who accepts it. But let's get off of that. I don't want to get sidetracked. This is a part-time contract position, and it pays anywhere from $110 to $190. Good God. So $190 is an excellent pay. I don't know how people are getting paid in the rest of the country, but $190 is pretty damn good in my book. But this is what you can look forward to with the AWS Cert, and this is why I'm recommending it for 2021. You can actually get paid, take care of your family, you can put some travel in there, or you can retire early. Whatever it is that you're looking for in your life, this position could potentially lead to that. So let's go on to the next certification that I recommend or I see being valuable in 2021. And this is a tried and true path. This is the CCNA. Now, I will warn you, the CCNA has been revised because they're looking for a little bit more programming and understanding of CI/CD as well and networking. Because people want to add a little bit more automation into there. So, just with the getting started, they have an exam blueprint. They have their community. There's a lot of information you can find on Cisco on how to pass their exams. You just have to be willing to read and work through it. Their new exam is the 200-301. And some of you may be thinking too, like, why did you suggest CCNA and not CCIE? Well, CCNA is a nice introductory certification that will get you a lot of bang for your buck, right? So you don't have to look or work as hard as a CCIE just to get started, right? I wouldn't put somebody on the path of CCIE right away when they're just transitioning to IT or if they're just coming from a help desk role. So I say, go ahead, do the CCNA. But don't get me wrong, CCIE is the best overall cert in the networking path because you are an expert, and I've seen people get this certification and they're able to start their own businesses. They're able to work part-time because your bill rate is ridiculous, so you might only need 6 figures annually or around 120 annually. So what does that mean? You only need to bill $120 per hour and work 20 hours a week. Now you're making your $120K per year, and you're not stressed out, you're not working a lot, but you're an expert and they know they can look to you to solve most of their problems. Now, let's go back to the CCNA. The CCNA, however, is a good way to start, like I said. And here are the exam topics. Let's get into that. So you have network fundamentals that you will learn. That's 20%. Network access is the next 20%, right? Then you have connectivity. Then you have 10%, that's IP services, so DHCP, DNS, things like that. Then you have your security aspect, because you have to understand how to manage passwords, mitigate any type of vulnerabilities, exploits, and your risk. And then you have the portion I was talking about that was just recently added. It's the automation and programmability portion, and it explains how automation impacts network management. So this is what I'm saying. They're using a lot of PyATS and Python, and down here at the bottom using Puff, Chef, Ansible, because things are changing and the future is going to be totally different from the past. You're going to have to be able to automate some of the changes and the upgrades to networking devices. So that's where this exam is going. So let's go ahead and jump over and do some searches in my favorite job search engine. And we're going to type in CCNA. We're just going to keep it simple, right? And already we're seeing the beautiful aspect of the CCNA. Okay, right away we get a position that's $125 an hour. That's a click. Let's click on that, and then let's go down, and we see $69 an hour, right? Which is about what, 125, 130, depending on what your hours are. Then you have desktop support, which is a nice little entry. So if you're just starting out, let's get one here, and we got the high end and we have the low end if you're just starting out. So we have two job descriptions we can actually look at. So this one is the network architect, so you're going to be in the higher role, but look, they're still just asked for a CCNA and not even a CCIE. All right, and then let's go back down here to the bottom. They're talking about $125 per hour. It's almost $250,000 a year, depending on how many hours you put in. All right, we're talking about $250,000. It sounds better when I say $250,000, so that's what I'm going to keep saying. Yeah, so you're making $250,000 annually. Okay, and then you have all your other benefits. Let's look at what they're actually looking for. So this is located, it says remote as well. Hold up, I might have to apply to this position. This looks good. They want a bachelor's degree. Azure, probably 3 years. That's preferred, but that's not a must, okay? It's not mandatory. Then you have network architecture for 5 years, network traffic management, routing and broadcast protocols, and the certification we were already speaking about. Then you come down into the responsibilities and skills. Same thing, repeated about Azure and the architecture experience. Then they want you to have some load balance experience with Azure. It seems like it's heavy cloud in here. Then they want you to have HA, which is high availability, DR, disaster recovery, and business continuity solutions. Prior experience with web RTC and video streaming desirable. So there's going to be some type of video management here. But the contract length, here we go. Here's the kicker. It's only 3 to 4 months. So it might not be a full year. And then it's an actual part-time role, fully remote, less than 10 hours per week. So you wouldn't make $250,000 a year, but you will make $1,200 a week, right? $1,250, and we're talking about $5,000 a month doing this for 3 to 4 months. So that's a good one. That's a good opportunity, and it shows you how valuable CCNA is right away. So let's step into our next job description here. Desktop support, network admin. It's in the Falls Church area. And they say bachelor's is required. Still wouldn't let that deter you if you have a pretty solid and strong resume. They want you from Monday through Friday. They have their benefits here, and their pay rate is $65 to $70. Now, it doesn't have the wow factor, but you will be employed. And they don't have a lot of things in the description. They just listed a bunch of buzzwords here, things that don't mean anything, like Teams, that's Microsoft Teams, that's nothing. EM&S, Azure, Office 365. It seems like a lot of front office items that the list is not even very technical. So it's definitely an entry-level position. They need somebody to keep the seat warm and be able to contact the engineers when things need to be when they need some troubleshooting, some hardcore troubleshooting, or they need something to be resolved. So that's something you can look forward to with the CCNA. Now, let's go on to the CISSP. So, I've held the CISSP since 2013, and it's been a pretty good cert for me. It's still a buzzword, and it's managed by ISC Squared. And basically, it's a management security certification. Most people who are going into management usually get it. It would be leads like that. Or if you just want to up your pay a little bit, or if you want to transition to security, this is a good one to have. And you just keep recertifying once you keep your continuing education credits going. Right? And who earns the CISSP? They have it right here. You don't even have to look. The CISO, or the Chief Information Security Officer, Chief Information Officer, Director of Security, IT Director or Manager, Security Systems Engineer, and right on the list is heavy management, architecture, people who are really experienced, people who have an in-depth knowledge of security and the IT field as well. And these are some of their lower level certifications as you're just getting started out in the field, because I think you have to have 5 years experience in the security field or focus before you can even attempt this exam. Or at least that's how it was when I took it originally. So you might want to start with the SSCP, CCSP, or the CAP, or something along that path before you move on to the CISSP. Now let's pull up 2 positions for the CISSP, because I already said that's what we're going to do for each of the certs that I recommend for 2021. And we're going to type in CISSP. Right off the bat, we're getting good numbers. We're getting $80 an hour. Good God. So that's a good salary position to have. All right. Yes, I'm in the studio, Zach. What's going on?
You at the crib?
Yes.
Alright, I'm gonna pull up, man.
All right. And we're going to pick something else that's around in that range. So let's go here. Senior ISO. And we have a remote cloud ISO. I know I said 2 for each. I'm just going to breeze through this one quickly. So this one is the ISO. So your Information System Security Officer with 4 years experience preferred and a bachelor's degree. And they want you to have ANA, which is Assessment and Authorization. They want you to be a SME, Subject Matter Expert, in 4 years. And then you have a Change Control Board to review systems. So you want to act as that for the security team. Make sure there isn't any risk that you're putting on the network. And you must possess one of the following certifications of the ability to obtain within 3 months: A+, Network Plus, Security Plus, CAP. Now these are not even in the same ballpark. Just so you guys have an idea. Anything in the CompTIA realm is good quality information, but it is not on the level of any of these here at the bottom. So I don't understand why they have them listed. But now I'm starting to see, okay, they have an asterisk or a star by the ones that they really, really value here, which makes sense. Okay, so you might have to have some years of experience if you just have these. You're really gonna have, you're really gonna benefit if you have one of those 3 though. Okay. And let's look at it. It's 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And you work remotely right now because of the COVID situation, right? You're a citizen, green card holder, bachelor's required. So it's pretty basic, but it's good pay. Now you understand why I recommend it. And then you have the senior ISO, secret clearance needed. And you want to They want you to work within the risk management framework, be a senior in cybersecurity inspections, NIST, all these security terms and understandings and disciplines. And then they want you to have 3 years of a demonstrated experience in the ISO position and have a current CISSP or even associate. And they're going to pay you between $125 and $150K. Another solid income. And the shift is 10-hour shifts, 8-hour shifts. Okay? And one of these is required. You don't have any of these, you can't play ball, okay? So let's go to the third position, which I'm interested in myself. I'm just looking, it says remote. Who wouldn't want to work from home if you don't have to travel? You don't have to be around people, especially during COVID times. And let's look. So this is a cloud authorization role. It's to support securing initial global regulatory cloud certifications as well as annual renewals. So you want to certify your networks and make sure they're up to snuff and that they don't have any high risk equipment or software being ran on them. So you want to review current system security measures, translate complex concepts and solutions into documents. So you want to create SSPs or a system security plan. Then once you have FedRep certification experience. And then they want you to understand cloud computing and things like that. So keep in mind, and then you have experience writing scripts and tools, which is unique. But usually when you go the security route, this is one thing I'll tell you. If you're not a writer, you better get ready because they're going to have you doing a lot of writing. And then we have the last cert here, which is the Salesforce Administrator certification. Every week, this is not the last, this is second to last, I'm sorry. Every week, I'm getting more and more calls about Salesforce. They're just popping up everywhere, talking about they need this, they need that, they want Salesforce here, Salesforce there. So, obviously, it would make the list. All right, I'm not going off of what anybody else is doing. I'm going off of what I'm experiencing since I actually have boots on the ground. I know what the market is like. I know what the recruiters are asking for. Okay. Salesforce, they're making a decent coin as well. So you have a Salesforce Administrator, 60 to 120, and it's temporarily remote. So that's going to be our first one. And then I'm going to pick another one that lists the income because I don't want any of you to be unclear or discouraged when you go to ask for compensation. I want you to have proof. I don't want you to come back, oh, no, they don't really pay that. Well, hey, they had it listed. You should go and look for it. So, Salesforce Administrator. So basically, if you're not familiar with Salesforce, basically it's a integration tool. It integrates back office work, front office work, technical day-to-day operations like ticketing, queuing, and management of that on the IT side. Then you have the HR side where you can send emails, you can manage applicants, you can manage job listings. Basically, it's an integration platform, all right? So they are here. They don't even have anything crazy technical. They just say what you might do on any given day. That is a red flag for me. That's going to tell me, hey, it's not going to be very technical, but we just need you to know the Salesforce thing. We might already have a solution in place. So collaborate with product managers, designers, and other developers to understand desired application capabilities. Interact with clients to provide technical insight regarding project updates. Develop and administer fields, views, reports, dashboards. So this is going to be your most technical part, and that's going to be inside of Salesforce. Build and maintain workflow using process builder processes. And that's essentially what you're going to be doing on the layouts. And I'm not well experienced in it, but from what I'm getting, it's kind of like Microsoft's SharePoint, where you were able to make all these different documents, set up all these little clickable items and custom web pages for your teams to use. But as you know, the reason why people aren't using SharePoint is because It didn't integrate into everyone's system very well. It did one or two items really well, and that was about it. So, in this role, it's talking about Salesforce admin or developer and marketing cloud. So you're going to be doing the same thing, build and maintain business process automations, using all the tools within Salesforce, running and maintaining the day-to-day operations of the Salesforce, helping other team members build and maintain integration with external systems, including the EMS. So basically, if you're a Salesforce Certified Administrator or Salesforce Certified Advanced Administrator, you're pretty much a shoo-in for this position because a lot of people don't know it right now. And these are the best certifications to get. When things are new and just ramping up, the bar is very low. So you can get in there and you can kind of learn on the job. Okay? And you're already ahead of the field because you already have the certification, so you have some knowledge. And you're working remotely is yes. All right. Monday through Friday and some weekends here. And like we said, the compensation is $60K to $130K. Right. So that's pretty good coin as well. Then you have the project management professional certification. And I know you're going to say, well, this isn't a technical certification. It's a management certification. But hey, it's highly sought after. So I'm going to have it on this list for 2021. And this is the Project Management Institute's #1 certification. It's very popular. I've known people I've told to get this because they didn't necessarily want to be technical, but they wanted to be in the IT field and garner some of the benefits and place some of those benefits in their life, right? Primarily being flexibility and compensation. So they went ahead and got the certification. They were able to transition out of a retail management position into a technical manager position, and they've loved it. She said she loves being in IT, and she appreciated my help, and she's never turned back. Okay, so that's the PMP. Let's pull up some positions with the PMP certification. And on the PMP, since it's the last one, I'm going to go ahead and do Washington. All right, so Washington, D.C. Then I'm going to do a position in New York City. So we can see what the rates are there. Okay. And then I'm going to do one out in L.A. We're going out west. All right, and that's 85 to 160. So out LA, I mean, you're kind of just surviving, but it's good money, it's good coin. You'll be surviving, right? All right. So, did this one have a pay? Yes. Okay, it has compensation. So this is the one in DC, project manager. They look bachelor's required, work authorization to be in the U.S. They want you to be a U.S. citizen. Identified approach for a given project. Course, work with stakeholders and subject matter experts. So basically just managing, develop, and maintain project governance. If you think this is for you, this is the type of person you are, you're fine with managing others. I mean, I retired from that field a long time ago. It was too stressful, right? So I got out of there. But if you think that's for you, it's great. So let's see. So they already have this field. This position might not be for you. You don't like to be one to keep track of the bigger picture or the details. You want to have the bigger goal in mind, outline a necessary sequence of activities, and so on and so forth. So let's get to the nitty gritty here. The pay is going to be $80K to $130K, which is decent in the DC area. You have 401K matching, health insurance, parental leave, professional development assistance. You work from Monday through Friday, 8-hour shifts. They also have additional bonus pay, right? And then it's working from home right now because of COVID, which is awesome. So keep that in mind. And that's Washington, D.C. So that's a good rate for the D.C. area. Now, they have this Assistant Commissioner Business Solutions. Let me search for this, make sure the PMP comes up. Yes, it is in here. All right. So this position is only open to permanent, not provisional candidates currently serving as computer systems managers. So this is for the New York City Administration for Children's Services. So this is a good position. Lead portfolio management to manage investment and alignment of the portfolio with the agency strategy. Right, so it's going to be more management here. Prepare executive reports, implement and maintain formal software development life cycle, and project management plans. You'll have all that if you already have your PMP, so don't worry about this part. But now you see 72 to 192 in New York City, which I think is a decent pay. But again, it's like LA. It's like, you're living, you're surviving, right? But it's good. And then this one as well is remote. So don't be scared. You're working remote right now, temporarily until COVID is resolved or managed better. Okay. So then we have the one for LA. If you want to be out west, or if you're already out west, let's look at this. You have a bachelor's degree is preferred. All these are preferred. Now take a look at this though. When you're talking about DC and New York, keep in mind, DC has the most people, or the highest percentage of people with bachelor's degrees in the entire country, out of any city, right? And I think New York is number 2 or something like that. So keep in mind, they're going to have bachelor's degree required, certain levels of education required. But if you go to a different city like LA, you're starting to see preferred, right? And then they have their duties, roles, and responsibilities and duties. Develop and maintain the project schedule. Communicate project schedules to subs and vendors. Budget, forecast, and analysis. Minimum 5+ years experience employed as a project manager at a software company or PFP certified preferred. And they're going to be paying you $85 to $160K. So if you fall somewhere in the middle of that, I've only heard, and I've heard about their taxes, that it can be kind of crazy out in LA. All right. Thank you. That wraps up the video. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. We have a brand new year here. We want to take advantage and move on and be successful. Remember, like, comment, subscribe, and share. And hit that bell.